Good morning, sports fans. Hello everybody and welcome to another video. In this video, we're going to be looking at the Fyreslayers faction focus, seeing what the new naked dwarfs are going to get in 4th edition Age of Sigmar. That's right, it's the Fyreslayers up next. Probably the really cool thing about the Fyreslayers, they were the first, I believe, non-Warhammer Fantasy faction to get a battle tome back in 1st edition. Kind of really cool, and it kind of sort of set the precedence, and that like Age of Sigmar was going to really go high fantasy. And essentially, basically, what they are, if you don't know what Fyreslayers are, they are the old school Slayers. Do you remember the gingerhead naked Slayers from the Dwarf army? And they're kind of like mercenaries now, and they kind of hammer molten hot gold runes into their skin, cover themselves in tattoos, and basically run around the mortal realms killing stuff. Pretty cool. The one thing I would say about them is they kind of lack some models. Their model range is pretty small compared to other factions. They definitely need a major increase of models in their roster, but super easy to paint, and you get big like dragon monster things as well. So yeah, really cool. Let's see what the Fyreslayers have in their battle traits. Okay, here we go. So their battle traits is looking pretty interesting. So the Fyreslayers armies use the following abilities. Once per battle, at the start of any turn. Nice. You can use this ability if you have not used your Gold rune. So that's the runes that they hammer in their skin. Abilities this battle round. For the rest of the battle round, friendly Fyreslayers have the strike first while they are in combat with an enemy unit that charged in the same turn. Nice. Okay. So it's your Gold. So if you haven't used it, this ability once per battle per army. So you use this if you have not used your Gold round battle round. For the rest of the battlefield, friendly Fyreslayer units. So basically, it seems to be an army-wide thing. Army-wide strike first. Cool, for once per battle. That's pretty good. And it basically lasts. So for the rest of the battle round, so for the entire battle round, friendly Fyreslayer units have the strike first while they're in combat with an enemy unit that charged in the same turn. So obviously, if you get charged, you're going to get it. So once per battle, army, your shooting phase. You can use this ability if you have not used your rune, your Gold rune ability this battle round. So you've got another one. So you've kind of got a couple of runes. Well, this is kind of the theme of their battle tactics. Pick any any number of enemy units within 10 inches and visible to friendly Fyreslayer units of the target. Roll a d3 for each target and on a 2+, inflict that amount of wounds of mortal damage equal to the roll. Cool. Okay, so dishing out a little mortal wounds is always quite nice. I imagine the Magma Droths are going to do this a similar thing. That's pretty cool. Once per battle. That's cool. In the next one, you've got once per battle army in the hero phase. A rune of fiery determination. You can only use this ability if you have not used the Gold rune abilities this battle round. Friendly Fyreslayer units have the 5-up ward for the rest of the battle. Now, what I'm kind of getting is the old rune system that they had in 3rd edition, where you basically, at the beginning of your turn, you picked which rune you were going to use, and that kind of give you a buff. And then there was like a dice roll, and that if you rolled a certain number, you got like a mega rune version of it. So, you could I think there was one for movement where you got +2 to your movement. And if you rolled a 6 for it, you got like the mega version where you could like run, and it got like applied to your charge roll as well as your movement, that kind of thing. So we've kind of got a simplified version of that. Each rune is once per battle. So as you can see, there's 5. Most games are going to be like 5 turns. So you've got 1 essentially to be used each turn effectively. So you got once per army. Another one for your charge phase. Nice. You can only use this ability if you have not used your Gold rune ability this round. Okay. For the rest of the battle round, friendly Fyreslayer units can use can use charge abilities even if they have a run ability that same turn. Cool. So, for me, if I was playing Fyreslayers, this would be my turn 1 ability. To be able to move, run, and charge in turn 1 is, that's probably when you're most likely going to get to do it. Maybe turn 2 at the earliest. So yeah, that's a pretty cool one. Once per army, in any combat phase, you can use this Urgold ability if you haven't used one already. Melee weapons and used by friendly Fyreslayers have crit mortals for the rest of the battle round. Yep, so basically what you're looking at is Rune of Relentless Zeal, basically turn 1 to get yourself into combat. Maybe Rune of Fury after that, once you're, or maybe to sort of pop that turn 2, because you're obviously maybe going to get charged, or if you've got a lost priority and you're going to be going second, popping that one, and then maybe Rune of Searing Heat once you're really in the thick of melee, really to start pumping out those mortal wounds. So yeah, pretty cool. I'm quite liking that. It's definitely cool in a way. All right. So you've obviously got battle formations. So they've mentioned too, a warrior kindred assembles berserker kindred who fight in particularly fearsome, adding 1 to rune rolls for infantry when they charge. So the warrior kindred, they got a passive ability. Berserker kindred, add 1 to the rune rolls for attacks made by friendly Fyreslayer infantry units that charged in the same turn. That is so cool. Plus 1 to wound, so good. Yeah, really liking that. Really liking that. Do I really want to start a Fyreslayer army? An army of naked ginger dwarfs. Oh yeah. Did have a Fyreslayer army once actually, in a little bit of a lore. I painted a Fyreslayer army entirely, 2,000 points in 6 weeks, and came runners up at a painting competition at an event with it. Set myself a challenge, even made myself a scenic base for my rune father on Magma Droth with a waterfall and everything, and it was really cool. Really had super fun painting the army. But yeah, highly recommend it on a hobby perspective to definitely look at Fyreslayers if you're interested in that. But I digress. We'll get back to today's programming. So you've got in your hero phase, you've got a prayer. Obviously, they're dwarfs, so they don't really have wizards, so expect a lot of priests in your army. Pick a friendly Fyreslayers priest to chant this prayer. Pick a visible friendly Fyreslayers unit wholly within 12 inches of them to be the target. Then make a chanting roll of d6. Cool. And obviously, I can't remember how the priest thingy works, but I think you need a 4+. I think that's what that number up in the top corner is. Effect: subtract 1 from wound rolls for attacks that target that friendly unit until the start of your next turn. Nice. If the chanting roll is 8+, also subtract 1 from the rend characteristics of attacks that target that friendly unit until the start of your next turn. Okay, that's pretty cool. Subtracting 1 from wound rolls for attacks that target that friendly unit. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so if you're going to get a really big, beefy unit and get them into combat, whapping that on them so they're -1 to be wounded is really cool. And then obviously if you get the +8 chant off, subtracting 1 from the rend characteristics of attacks that target them as well until the start of your next turn is really good. -1 rend and -1 wound is so good. Pretty sure they had an ability like that back in 3rd edition. I'm pretty sure they did, but that's really nice. I like that a lot. All right, so now let's have a little look. We're having the big daddy of the faction, the Ulrich Runefather on Magma Droth. So, has a 4+ save. Pardon me. That is a very good save for somebody who has no armor on. It moves 10, 14 wounds, 5 control. Nice. So it has Roaring Fire Stream, a 10-inch range, 4 attacks, hitting on 3s, wounding on 3s, -1 rend, d3 damage, anti-infantry +1 rend, and it's a companion attack. That's nice. The fact that you're going to be hitting infantry on basically 2 rend is really good. So melee weapons, you've got the the Latchkey Great Axe. So this is a really big, meaty axe. 4 attacks, 3s and 3s, -2 rend, 3 damage. Nice. That's a nice profile. Then you've got Magma Droth, claws and horns. And obviously, it's got the little skull, so which means if you take 10 or more damage on this model, you're going to drop from 6 attacks down to 4 attacks. But it hits on 4s, it wounds on 2s, it's on 1 rend, and it's 2 damage per hit. That's really solid. And then you've got the Blazing Maw, 2 attacks, 4s, followed by 2s, 2 rend, 3 damage. And it's, again, a companion attack. That's a decent amount of damage that this thing's going to be pumping out, which kind of is what you expect from an Ulrich Runefather on a Magma Droth, which is basically a big fire-breathing dragon lizard monster thing that's made out of molten metal. Okay, so you've got once per turn army, any combat phase, Raging Inferno. Pick an enemy unit in combat with this unit to be the target. Roll a d3, subtract 1 from save rolls for that target for the rest of the turn. Oh my god, that is so good. -1 save against this model if it rolls a 3 up. So good. So good. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay. Once per battle army, your combat phase, Warrior Kings. For the rest of the turn, add 1 to the tact characteristics of melee weapons used by friendly Fyreslayer units while they are wholly within 12 inches of this unit. +1 attack while wholly within 12. That's really good. That is really, really good. I like that. And then you got the passive, which I've imagined this is going to be the old classic. You damage it, it's going to spit blood back at you, and it's because it's lava. You're going to take damage yourself. So if you make an unmodified save roll of a 1 for a combat attack that targets this unit, inflict 1 mortal damage on the attacking unit after the fight ability has been resolved. So any saves of 1 does spits back mortal damage back at the enemy. Nice. And obviously this model is a Warmaster. Ooh. It is a hero. Ooh. A monster. And it has a ward save of 6+. Nice. I'm going to hopefully that they're going to actually say what the Warmaster keyword actually gives us, because it's interesting that this is a Warmaster. Normally Warmaster was only sort of exclusive to sort of big name characters of the factions. So it's interesting that this got Warmaster also. So you've got the Ulrich Runemaster, which is one of your heroes on foot. 5 up save, because he's naked. 4 up move, because he's a dwarf. He's got 5 health and controller 2. And he has a brazier staff. 3 attacks, 3s and 3s, 1 rend, 2 damage, no abilities. But he's a high priest, and it's a passive ability. So each time a prayer chanted by this unit is answered, this unit gains a magical power token. Really, this is interesting that they're removing tokens from a lot of armies, but Fyreslayers retain tokens. Interesting. So, reaction, you declared an Unggold rune ability. Then you have Master of Runes. So, effect. Remove 3 of this unit's magmic power tokens. If you do so, apply the effect below that corresponds to the Unggold rune ability that was just used. Okay, so this is how you're going to get the Mega Rune, right, from 3rd edition. Cool. All right, okay, they've brought it into this guy. This kind of makes sense. Okay, so if you pick Rune of Fury, for the rest of the battle round, add 1 to wound rolls for models for combat attacks made by friendly Fyreslayer units while they have the strike first. Really nice. So now you're not only getting strike first, but you're getting +1 to wound. Really good. Rune of Fiery Determination, add 1 to the save rolls for friendly Fyreslayers units for the rest of the battle round. I think that's where you get the ward save as well. So +1 save, +1 and a ward save. Pretty decent. Rune of Relentless Zeal, add 1 to rune rolls and 1 to run rolls and charge rolls for friendly Fyreslayer units. That is the run and charge rune. So +1 to it, run and the charge. Really good. And then the Searing Heat, add 1 to the rend characteristics of weapons used by friendly Fyreslayer units for the rest of the battle round. That's the Mortal Wound one as well. Really cool. And then increase the range of Runic Farsight ability by 60 to 16 inches. Don't think we've seen Runic Farsight yet. Might be on one of the other models. But that's really, really good. And he has obviously a 6-up ward save as well. Yeah, so you're going to be wanting to take this guy. You're going to have at least 1 Ulrich Runemaster in your army, because you're going to kind of need him to get those mega runes off. So, yeah, so he is a priest too. So each time a prayer chanted by this unit is answered, this unit gains a magnet token. So you're not going to be able to do it on turn 1. You've only got 2 prayers. Unless there is an artifact that gives him +1 to his prayers that he can do, where you can do 3 in a turn. But yeah, your mega runes you're not going to do all the time, but you know it's going to be nice when you can do it. And I've got a feeling that you're either going to want to pop this to get the +1 rend, or to get that that lovely sweet +1 to wound during strike first as well. So that's going to be quite interesting to see how that bit ties into it. The classic, the Hearthguard Berserkers, the elite unit of the army. It's pretty much what everyone in 3rd edition was running, at least 3 units of 10 of these guys. They're absolutely just bonkers, or at least they used to be. So they've got a 6-up save because they're naked. They move 4, they've got 2 health, and they've got control of 1. They got the Berserker Broadaxes, which is 2 attacks, 3s and 3s, -1 rend, 2 damage. Okay, respectable. No abilities. Oh my god, no abilities. Something I expected them to have. Then they've got Duty unto Death. So while any friendly Fyreslayers infantry heroes are wholly within the combat's range of this unit, both this unit and those units have a 5-up ward. Kind of had this similar to in 3rd edition. If they were with a hero, they basically got a ward save. It's kind of the same thing. Then they got passive, Fires of Vengeance. While this unit is within the combat range of any damage-friendly Fyreslayer heroes, add 1 to the attack characteristics of this unit's melee weapons. Ouch. Ouch. Okay. +1 attack. 3 attacks each. Nice. But they do come with a 6-up ward save as base, which is quite nice. So yeah, Berserkers looking pretty good. Interesting that it's saying Berserkers with Broadaxes, which means that they've split this unit down into either having axes or polearms, because they had 2 weapon variants. So they've now got 2 war scrolls for the Berserkers, which is interesting. And then we've got one of their basically it's like an endless prayer. So it's got a 5-up save, it moves 8, it's got 10 health, it's got 7+ for banishment, Raging Torrents of Lava, 8-inch range, 2 attacks, 4s followed by 3s, 2 rend, d3 damage, can shoot in combat. And then it has Molten Cores, 6 attacks, 4s, 2s, 1 rend, d3, critical wounds, mortal damage, or natural rolls of 6s. So at the end of any turn, pick a friendly unit that had any damage points allocated to this turn by this manifestation attacks to be the target. Subtract 1 from rune rolls for the target's combat attacks until the end of your next turn. Nice. And obviously it can fly, because it looks like it flies. And it has a ward save of 6+. So yeah, pretty cool. I've always liked this one. It looks kind of cool. But kind of, yeah. So you got stuff in the studio. So this is going to be their new Spearhead. Their new Spearhead box, which is going to be, by the looks of it, 2 units of 10 of Ulrich Berserkers, which these are the guys either with dual-handed weapons or a hand weapon and shield, and you get 5 Hearthguard Berserkers, which you'll be able to build either with Broadaxes or the polearms, and then what looks like a hero in the middle there, which is kind of cool. Not sure which one that one is, but yeah, you get a little hero as well. Obviously, you get like a sort of watered-down version of the... oh no, you get a Battlesmith. Oh, wow! Okay, that's pretty cool, that you get the Battlesmith in that box. Because Battlesmiths used to be really clutch for your army, so that's pretty cool. So, 5 attacks, 3s, -1 rend 2 damage. Obviously, he's 5-up and a 6-up ward save. FX, I'd want to save rolls for friendly units while they are wholly within 12 inches of this unit. I've got a feeling that's kind of going to be in his main war scroll. And then for the rest of the turn, friendly units have a 5-up ward save while they're wholly within 12 inches. I can see him basically being very similar to these rules in Spearhead than he is in normal Age of Sigmar. So that's kind of interesting. But yeah, that's the Fyreslayers. And tomorrow, we're going to be looking at the Ideneth Deepkin, the elf eels, basically Aquaman army. Sharks, turtles, and all of that good stuff. But yeah, that's the Fyreslayers. I kind of like that, actually. I kind of like them. They look pretty cool. They look fun. They've kind of got the rune mechanic that they used to have, which is kind of good. Obviously, they're splitting units into two separate war scrolls, which I'm kind of going to guess that you're going to get a war scroll for dual-wielding Volkite Berserkers or one-handed and shield Volkite Berserkers. You're going to get 2 war scrolls for the Hearthguard Berserkers with pole arms and the axes, and the other type of Hearthguard Berserkers where you get the shooty guns. I'll probably expect to see them get 1 or 2. I think they maybe have weapon options, but yeah, you'll probably get at least 2 scrolls for them as well. Then when it comes to the Magma Dross, you're going to have an Ulrich Rune Father, an Ulrich or Rune Son, and then a Rune Smith or Rune Master Smith. And then you're probably going to get those at least 3 war scrolls coming off that kit as well. I'm hoping that when it comes to Fyreslayers getting their actual book in 4th edition, that they actually get a decent amount of new units, because they've only seems to have had lots of new heroes. They have a lot of hero models in this faction, and they kind of need other things. So it'd be really nice to sort of see, see them getting a couple of new units. I'd love them to sort of do a Fyreslayer sort of rendition, Age of Sigmar rendition of Doomseekers from Warhammer Fantasy. That would be really cool. Like fiery berserkers with axes on chains spinning around, being absolute lunatics. That would be really kind of cool as well. So yeah, but hopefully they'll get something, because they're a really cool looking faction, and that would be kind of awesome. But that is Fyreslayers. Tomorrow we'll be jumping into Deepkin, and thank you for all of the support over the weekend. The channel is pumping, so if you haven't yet subscribed, please do so. And help me get that the viewers, non-subscriber viewers percentage down. Haven't checked on it lately, but the last time I checked it was over 80%. It would be pretty awesome if we could start pulling that down. And yeah, we're slowly closing in on 3,000 subscribers, which is amazing. So please like this video, ring the bell, comment, and obviously, ultimately, subscribe to the channel. And if you want to help me out in other ways, you can check out my members area and my Patreon. As a quick note, I have something cooking up for all you Horus Heresy fans, and going to be making a video very soon regarding that. So keep an eye out for that one, regarding basically something to do with Gibraltar. So yeah, check out that when it comes up. And yeah, thank you for all the support, everybody, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye for now.